We have done everything in our power. We have used every peaceful and lawful means by which to redress our grievances, and our enemies just will not stop. We've been fucking assaulted. They are threatening us all over the place, and they just won't stop, you know?
Tradition is our mission. Fuck that fascist beat. 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 Don't forget that feeling. Don't forget your heart. Don't forget that feeling. Don't forget your heart. Don't forget that feeling. Don't forget your heart. Don't forget that feeling. Don't forget that feeling. Don't forget your heart. Don't forget that feeling. Don't forget your heart. Don't forget that feeling. Don't forget your heart. Don't forget your heart. Refuse, resist, raise your fist. If you got something to say, warriors come out to play. Refuse, resist, raise your fist. If you got something to say, warriors come out to play. Tradition is our mission. Fuck that fascist beat. Tradition is our mission. Fuck that fascist beat. Tradition is our mission. Fuck that fascist beat. Tradition is our mission. Fuck that fascist beat.
I'm not even saying we're non-violent. I'm saying that fucking we didn't aggress. We did not initiate force use. We're not non-violent. We'll fucking kill these people if we have to. We'll fucking kill these people if we have to. We'll fucking kill these people if we have to.
Don't forget that feeling. Don't forget your heart. Don't forget that feeling. Don't forget your heart. Don't forget that feeling. Don't forget your heart. Don't forget that feeling. Don't forget. Refuse, resist, raise your fist. If you got something to say, warriors come out to play. Refuse, resist, raise your fist. If you got something to say, warriors come out to play. Refuse, resist, fuck that fascist beat. 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 Fuck that fascist beat.
Broadcasting live in every land, on every frequency, across the surface of the earth, to the farthest reach. This is a live transmission.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome. Hopefully, everything is looking nice and copacetic here. Good evening. Hello. It is 6:05 p.m. the 25th of February, 2025. You're listening and watching to Lady Goggles here or Professor Goggles. One of these days, I'll remember my own goddamn name. Here on Twitch, hi, how are you? Holy shit. Hopefully you're doing well. It's actually... Oh. Da, 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 da. Thank you, Basil, for that resubscription. I appreciate it. Hi, Basil. How are you doing? Thank you. 6 months. Thank you so much. How are you doing? How's the missus? I hope everything is going well for you. Everything has... Waves arms is just a hot mess. The hottest of messes. And I don't necessarily mean me personally, but just the world. You know what I mean? Every day is a challenge to not fucking doom scroll. You know what I mean? That's right. I forgot. Oh, sweetheart. I am so sorry. That sucks. Oh, that's terrible. I've had some bad flus in the day, but I had COVID exactly once. And legitimately, I thought I was going to die. I was not admitted, but I had to go to the ER. I had like 105 or 106 fever or something like that. It was one of those things where it's like, I'm very scared of dying, but in that moment, I was just like, nope, this is it. This is all I got. This sucks. It's like it's almost like I was accepting it. But no, it was the most miserable, I think, one of the most miserable times I've ever had. So I hope it's not that bad for you, and I hope you both recover really quickly, and knock on wood, don't get the long COVID. Otherwise, you know, hopefully mentally you're doing okay. I missed last week's streams just because I, you know, love to be disabled. Long story short, I had some flare-ups, and then I just had some mental health stuff, and it was like, fuck, I don't want to stream today. I just don't want to do it. And I had to kind of go with my mind and, you know, dealing with depression and whatnot, so... But that being said, the physician told me new variants of COVID do not have a fever. Interesting. Really? That's gonna make it a little harder to catch, no? Like, huh, that's... Frankly, that's a little troublesome, to be quite honest. I have a heckin' concern. Switching over to the game here, give me a second. We'll see if OBS decides to play nice. It might not. I don't have Born currently, so who knows? Yeah, jeez, that's... I'm assuming you're staying home, like, you're not, going to work and teaching, right? Like, which is perhaps a small blessing, because it's not, you know, grading you have to deal with, which, I mean, is, you know, like I said, minor blessing, right? Give me 1 second here. OBS is being a dink. Okay, good. Like, I was gonna say, please, God forbid, don't tell me that, like, they're like, oh, you gotta come into work today. It's like, no, dude. That is not happening. Thank you very much. Let me get all this squared away. 1 second, please. Oh, man, it is super cool when things just work. You know what I mean? There we go. Okay. That's right, we got the beta thing going on here. Okay. Oh, and it crashed. Getting off to a great start. Tested for the... I was like, how does one test for the void? I'm very interested to know how one tests for the void. Oh, okay. We keep crashing. That's interesting. Well, let's think here. Huh. We might not be playing Isaac. Hold on. If it keeps crashing like this. My school's policy is based on symptoms in regards to COVID. Doc said 5 days. Get sustained. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Your backups remain intact, except... Okay, cool. All right, let me check my options here, because we don't have music? Here we go, that's why. I'm sitting here like, where the hell's the music? All right, so we're gonna try something here. Let's get off the Christmas stuff, because we don't need that right now. Isaac on Twitch. Okay. So we're gonna try that today. So what is Isaac on Twitch? Well, basically, it lets you mess with me. So... give me 1 second to see if we can get things set up here. Honestly, though, like, for reals, I would love a void cat. Are you kidding? What is the currency to help hinder? Well, I will let you know. Just make sure I've got everything set up, because it does take a little bit to... Okay, that's done. Press start button on the site. Alright, we're gonna play as Maggie because I do like her. Now enter Twitch and or YouTube info on the site. Alright, let me do that real quick. Boop. Okay. We're gonna do default, and it looks like we are doing okay. Thank you. I will admit, honestly, that I am quite bad at Isaac, so don't expect fucking miracles. I'll say that much. All right. We got this. Okay. Alright, let's go see what we got. Starting with cancer. Yeah, I'll take that. Holy shit, what a great find. Cat is hopefully on the horizon for us. No shit. Oh, I hope you managed to get it. That would be lovely. Like, unfortunately, we can technically have a cat, I think, but, like, with our income currently as it is, and like we don't have any room in the apartment, you know, like it's a very tight space, so it's like, unfortunately, I don't think it would actually work all that well, you know what I mean? Alright, let's see if I can do this without fucking blowing myself up. Nope. What do we got here? Tastes like burning, fair enough. Jera, I'll take that. Hello? Summon friendly buddies from Twitch mod. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. What does this do? Oh, why am I wigging out like this? Hold on. Wait a minute. Why can't I move? No, stop! I can't move! It's not letting me. I can't do anything! Stop! Oh my god. What is going on? Okay. Oh, look at this! I can get, like, biddies. That's interesting. Okay. Summon friendly buddies from Twitch mod. Alright, so what does this do? Basil, look! Look, they are! Oh, that's awesome. Alright, let me see. I really want that fucking ladder. I really want that ladder. Alright, we're gonna have to see if we can come back for it. Okay, there's the yum heart. Basil, you're so helpful. Thank you. Alright, got some keys. We got a heart. Oop, get that bomb. One luck. Very nice. Extra keys. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Got a heart. Okay, I'm gonna check this for any money. I'd really hate to lose out on that ladder, but we're not gonna have enough cash. That sucks. That absolutely sucks. Bingle, no! I thought you were helping me! What the hell is this? Glass eye, damage vision luck. Okay, beautiful. Alright, let's... or not. I'm helping. Chaos! Oh, I got Seraphim. Lovely. Alright, so let's see here. We'll take glass eye off. Alright. Oh, I just got bonked. That was my own fault, god damn it. Russian hackers. Interesting. Okay. Let's lob a bomb here. Nope, there's nothing. Okay. Basil, I can't take this helping and then taking everything away from me. It's terrible. Can we bomb that, please? Alright. Shoot over here? Shoot over here? Can you shoot over here, please? Nope. Okay. Appreciate it. Ooh, ooh. Oh, hello? Hello? What? Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't like that. Oh, that's piss. That's the pissiest. Oh, man. I fucking hate this. This is not good. I take the bombs, though. Fuck. That probably would have been a good opportunity for Jera, but that's okay. Oh, no. Please don't remove my item. Fuck. Okay, I beg you to at least please keep cancer, okay? Like, cancer would be very good. I'm not getting chocolate milk. Get absolutely fucked. There is just so much going on. Like, I'm losing track of, like, where I am in the midst of all this fucking madness. Kinda sucks we're gonna lose Seraphim, but I'd rather lose Seraphim than Cancer, I think. I wonder what happens if you don't vote. I think it just... Basil again. Look at this. The betrayal. What do we got here? Ooh, I'll take that. I lost Cancer! No! Why did I lose Cancer? Oh, this is horse shit. Is that PhD? Am I dancing? Da, 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 da. Okay, we're gonna go down here. Ah, like, it was such a good thing to have. I'm so upsetty. Get out of here. Teleports Isaac to the treasure room. Yeah, let's do it. PhD. I fucking love PhD. PhD is so good. Thank you, PhD. I got mom's bot. I hate it. Well, can't get that. We'll just have to deal with it. Fucker. Spawns a blood donation machine. Eh. Anything in here? No, nobody in here. Okay. Okay, I have to be honest, I'm also a little curious about flying banana. Like, what could that possibly, like, be, you know what I mean? Let's just see what the boss is. Fuck it. Oh, okay. Full of bandages? Fuck yeah. Oh no, wait, what did I pick up? Rosary bead? Sure. Okay. Oh god, what the fuck? Oh no! Get out of here! Fucking bananas everywhere! Go away! What is going on? I can't see shit! They just keep coming! Immediately accepts current pull. Nah, that's okay. Look at these biddies, though. Give me that. I don't know if these do anything, but okay. Oh. Well, that's helpful. Alright. Spectral tears shoots 2 tears at least once diagonally. That's gonna be a no. They seem helpful. Alright, let's see here. Oh, I lost ball of bandages. That sucks. Okay. Well, let's... Nothing. Oh, game, why are you freezing? Come on, dude. Alright, well, we got that. That is a store, which we really don't have any money to kind of spend on it anyway, so it's sort of pointless. Let's see here. Oh, that was very stupid on my part. Take that. I see a cat, I vote for the cat. Absolutely. Oh god, get away from me. Ooh, get away from me. Basil, stop it! Basil! Ooh, full health? We will hold on to that. You got kids drawing. What does kids drawing do? I don't actually know. Okay. Nope, nope. Come on. Come on. Just gotta get this guy. Yeah, fucker. Oh, okay. Alright, we'll do that. And then... Ooh! I do like that. I do like that. Mega fatty. Right. I don't want to get sick. Stop it. Stop it. A rainbow heart. Ooh, I wonder what rainbow heart does. Midnight snack. Fuck yeah. I really would like something to increase my damage, but, you know, we'll take what we can get. Alright, what are we dealing with here? Curse of the Mate. Oh, lovely. Alright. Not a fan of that. Oh, you fuck. We don't really need to worry about brown cat. Jesus. Sagittarius I'll take. Please do not get rid of PhD. Jesus, that was close. Okay. Fucking mom. How are we doing with that? We're doing okay. I really don't want to do that. So if I go back... Okay. Yeah, like, Eyeball... It sucks to lose Eyeball, but I'd much would rather have PhD. That's just my preference. I'm sure, like, professional Isaac streamers are, like, screaming at me right now. Don't do that! You know, but... What do we got here? Spawn rotating beam. Okay. I'm collecting, like, there's, like, these biddies and stuff here, but I don't know, like, what they actually do. Huh. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Like, if you get a chance, like, you don't have to do it, like, right now or anything. How did it... Oh, there were spikes. I am an idiot. We got some coins. Let's see what we have here. Oh, God! Oh, that's terrifying! Oh, no, that's awful! Oh, I hate it! Oh, that's so bad! Oh, we can't get it. Shit. Basil, why would you do this? Oh, this is gonna be really hard too. Fuck. No! It's so gross! Ugh. Oh no, not stream elements! Fucking... Oh my god, please. Oh, you bitch! Well, we'll take the damage. I really don't want the devil room. I mean, we can take a look. Fears and spell radius. +1 damage. Okay. We have enough life, I think, to justify getting the pentagram. No, it's fine. It's fine. There's only so many choices, you know? Like, I would rather you make a choice than have it be random and then, like, it super fucks me over. Oop, don't like that. Ooh, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Fucker. What is bonking me? Oh, that's... that would be what's bonking me. Bastard. Bombs are key, and... It's okay, we don't have to worry about that so much. Let's check out what we got here. Scatter bombs... Sure, why not? So we can bomb while we bomb. Let's see here. Buying an item from a stock or restocks it instantly. That's not terrible. Grab that. Alright, we'll see if we can come back. I don't know. Hello? Alright. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Ew. They're not getting hit? Okay. That was weird. Alright. Oh, these guys are friendly. Okay. Oh, we're already at mom? What the fuck? What is going on? How did we get here so quickly? We'll take that back. Get away from me. Okay, that was certified nuts. You know what? Do we dare boss rush? Do we dare? I kind of want to try. We don't have nearly as much, like, life as we probably should. Man, this is tempting. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it. Why not? High risk, high reward. Oh no. Oh, Jesus. Stop barking me! Basil! Don't want that. No. Basil, I thought we were cool. I thought we were copacetic, and instead you're wailing on me. Fuck off. Oh, are we doing flying banana again? Actually, for this, flying banana, not the worst idea. Not the worst idea at all. Whoa, what the fuck is this? Hello? Hello? Truly, I have no clue what the fuck is going on. Oh, there it is! There it is! We just got bananaed. Oh god. I can't see a motherfucking thing. This is amazing. Doomsday! Hey, what's going on? Welcome to, the Binding of Issac, but, with Twitch. Oh god, there's just so much happening on the screen. There's just so much going on. I can't see a motherfucking thing. Get away from me. Get away from me. Oh god. Fuck you. How about that? Fucker. No. Oh god, stop. 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 Alright, we're gonna have to use some creative bombing here, I think. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. How long are the bananas going on for, though? Like, they're helping. I'm just like, holy shit. Go away. Yeah. Umbilical cord would be good, because if we do get low health, it'll prompt to a little Steven to come out, I think, if I remember correctly. Get away from me. Stop freezing! Oh, there's Basil again. Oh man, the two of you against me? This is not right. Doomsday, how are you doing today? I can't see a fucking thing. I can't see anything. Well, there goes Seraphim. That sucks. That sucks. Oh, fuck it. Basil, you knocked me to the spikes. Come on. Oh, you motherfucker. Okay, yeah, see, little Steven at least is... Get off! No. Okay. You're playing Elden Ring. How's it going? I might go back to Elden Ring, but I definitely would have to play it in, what the hell is it called? With the easy mode mod. Just because, like, I do not have the patience. Like, Mal is very good at playing it. I am absolutely the opposite of that. Like, 100%. It just isn't gonna happen, you know? Doomsday, you are on my butt? Need that heart. Okay. Look at this. Everybody's coming after me now. Will you go away, you little shithead? Like, it's on top of dealing with the bosses, we gotta deal with these fucks too, so it's like... Oh my god. The bananas won't stop. The bananas won't stop. Okay. Fuck me. Okay. What? No way. Okay. Elden Ring is easier than Dark Souls? I think in some respects, yeah. I think that's true in some respects. Why did I get bonked? Why am I getting bonked? Oh my god, fuck off. So boss rush mode was a mistake. Especially since I can't see this fucking thing with all the goddamn bananas! There's just so... I'm gonna die. I am gonna die. What is this?! Oh, literally fuck off. I can't see anything. Are you kidding? Yosh! Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Oh my god. What is this? Oh my god, please. See, at least this dude is stationary, but like, fuck me off, man. Please stop. Please stop. This guy's gonna... Okay. I really could use some health. This sucks. Bananas won't stop. The bosses won't stop. Everything is just... Oh wait, I have a fucking full health pill. What am I doing? I had a full health pill this whole time. Okay. Alright, we might be able to survive just a little bit longer then. Oh my god. Getting carpal tunnel in my hand. Jesus Christ. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Basil, you can't just spawn right on top of me like that. It's not right. Nope. I want umbilical cord, please. Okay. You are the chosen one. Username. No! No! It wouldn't let me move. You are a bastard. Fuck you. Please tell me this is ending. God, it's just gonna keep going. Why is there an angel? Why are we fighting a motherfucking angel? Oh my god, Doomsday is here now too? Doomsday. Buddy. I'm running out of bombs. The enemies learned a new jutsu? I don't like that. That's not helpful. No! Stop hitting me! Oh god, a heart. Thank you. This truly is the epitome of chaos. Like, if ever there was a time to use that emote, the time is now. You know what I mean? Oh my god, I can't see a motherfucking thing. I just can't see a motherfucking thing. Stop! Oh god, a heart. I need the heart. Okay. Oh, fuck off. I got drink purple. I don't know what that does, but we'll get it. Oh, I think those are... Okay, I think those are like temporary hearts. Okay. Please let it be over. Is that it? Seriously? Is that it? Oh my god. What the fuck was that? They did help, yeah, okay, sorry. I could not look at chat because everything was, like, was just so much. Okay. Why did I just have my folks? Come on. Why you do? Please. Triggers a random rune effect. Alright. Well, that did something. Not sure what it did, but it did something. Well. Be great if we could get a heart. As a matter of fact, see if we can get one from... That did not work. Okay. Well, we got a heart-ish. Wait, what was that? 2 soul hearts. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it. Full health. Yes. Yes.
Full health.
Fucking bless up. Oh my god. What the hell was that? What the fuck is this? Basil, what did you do? Basil, what is all this? What did you do? What nonsense did you give me? Oh my god. I had PhD. We were doing okay. And now I don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh, we might be fucked. I would love to get that. I would love to get that. Okay. Well, maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be a heart in this treasure chest. There was not, but we will take a range pill. Definitely take that. Oh, hello. Did that just suddenly charm? Oh, you fuck. Ugh, come out, you fucking bastard. I got a mouth tonight. I am sorry. A heart. Thank you. Okay. Another heart? Oh, yes. I'll take a fucking half heart. We'll take what we can get. This is delightful, but I really want those double hearts. Oh, God. Oh, God. What the fuck? Get out of here. No. I like the idea of the inverted cross, but because we're working on so little health, I think I'm gonna hold on to umbilical card. That seems like the way to go, question mark. Oh, thank you, hold on. let me... Okay. For hydrate, I've got a bottle of zero sugar Snapple apple, and I also have some cran. So we're gonna do the cranberry first. Thank you. How do I sound, by the way? I got a new audio interface for my mic, so hopefully things sound a little better. Ooh. That guy is what we call in the business a fucker. Sounds good, very clear, awesome. That is what I like to hear. That things sound good and clear. And I'm gonna get bonked. Or not. I'll take it. Alright, what are we dealing with here? Oh, fun. R key. What's R key do? I have no idea what R key does. Oh, jeez. Get out of here. You're not taking anything from me, stream elements. Except my heart, I guess. Hello? What does R key do? Oh, jeez. Stop it! Okay, so now we gotta... Stream elements, how fucking dare you. Ooh. Alright, so these guys aren't gonna... He's not gonna come back until we defeat these guys. Okay. No, no, no. Oh, I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Come on, you fuck. Oh, wow. Okay. I guess we'll go up? Okay, so what does R do? It just reset the run. Oh my god, it didn't. It didn't. It just reset the fucking... No! Fine. This is fine. We do have the items. We've got that going for us, I suppose. Oh my god, what is... Oh, we got a little haunt. That's a good boy. Okay, alright, let's... From the top. How to jump. I love it. Okay, well... Doubles? Okay, we'll do that. What the hell? Like, we had a boss rush going that we somehow managed to do, and all of that just gone. Man, that sucks. Sissy Longlegs. Ooh, okay. Bombs are key. Nah. Doomsday again. Doomsday's got it out for me, man. Oh, what do we got here? Wire coat hanger. Okay. What's the Isaac of Isaac? Is it just a bunch of Isaacs? Well, I hope I am providing you all with some amount of nonsense / entertainment, because this is all just so silly. Oop. What is this now? Enemy can lose half of their HP with a 66% chance. Enemy could double their HP. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Like, decent odds, but I still don't know if I would stake an HP increase about that, you know what I mean? I don't know about that. Alright, the boss is right there, but I want to find, like...
Isaac and his Isaac lived alone in a small Isaac on an Isaac.
Wait. What the fuck? Oh god! Oh god! What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? What is happening? Well, I may as well go see what's at the store, I suppose. Oh, Steam sale. Good pickup. Good pickup. That is so fucking weird. Well, they weren't kidding. It's the Isaac of Isaac. Holy shit. Alright, well, let's just go to the boss, I suppose. Basil. Oh. Well. Alright. Oh, we got a thing. Basement boy. Beat basement without taking damage. Unlocked a new item. Sprinkler. Okay. Okay. Everything is Isaac. Oh, and look, Samson. Oh, shit. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Alright, okay. Interesting. I guess, you know, despite my griping, I was able to get through that floor without getting hit. So now I wonder, oh shit, if I can unlock Bethany. Because if we play as Lazarus without getting hit, we can unlock Bethany. And I would really like to unlock her. Book of Revelations. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up. I'm sorry, Jump. Alright, what do we got here? Why am I, like, looking all... Oh, Contagion, probably. Yeah, that'd do it. Dozens of shots per second. Let's see. Oh, God. That'd be really good for the boss. Or a room like this. Tommy gun. Pow, 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 pow. Well, we don't have any coins right now, so that would be silly to go in there. Okay, machine gun was pretty fun. I can't lie. Now, what does Book of Revelations actually do? Because I don't remember. Well, we'll take those hearts. Thank you very much. Please don't half my coins. I have nothing to have. Like, what are you gonna have of nothing? This is preposterous. Oh, thank you. Like, I'm just like, what do you... There's nothing to take! Except perhaps my dignity, you know, but... Hello? Enemies explode after death. Nah, that's okay. Appreciate it. But, yeah, I don't think we're gonna do that. Did I already get? Yes, we did. Okay, never mind. Alright, well, in that case, let's go to the store. We do have Steam sales, so let's go to the store and see what we got here. Bomb, something's wrong. Car battery. Yeah, let's pick up the soul heart, why not? Alright, let's head over to the boss. See what kind of bullshit nonsense we got over here. I gotta admit, nope, we're not doing a health down. The Everything Was Isaac was pretty damn fun. Okay, we're just gonna bop around here and bit of the bing, bit of the boom. Got Angel Room! Oh, we also got experimental treatment. Damn it. Fucking knocked down our... Damn. Ooh, hello? Yeah? Delightful. Oh, okay. I will certainly take that. And we're gonna take umbilical cord back. This one is so fucked up. The first time I saw that dream, I laughed my ass off, but I felt so bad. Alright, what we got going on here? Oh, hello? Alright, so we can go left or right. Let's go this way. Ooh. I have golden key. Ooh. Thank you for golden key. Much obliged. Much appreciated. Let's see here. Definitely can use some more hearts. Let's hold on to those. What are you? Hiccups are attracted to Isaac's open chest from 2 tiles away. Yeah, we'll grab that. That seems like a solid one to have. Grab another key. Jesus Christ. There we go. Or, right, we don't have to get hit. Bet! Aw, I wish Mal was here. I hope Mal's doing okay. I got a credit card. What do credit card do? Well, let's find out. The shop is over here. Lying? Hello, thank you! I probably should have used credit card here. I thought this would be the store. How was the rest of your stream? What work did you get done? Well, we'll take all of that. Thank you so much for that heckin' raid. Right now we are playing the Binding of Issac, but with a twist. It is interactive with stream. With Twitch, rather. So if you feel like messing with me or helping, you can take a look at some of the options as they pop up on the bottom of the screen there. We made elf ears, draconic horns, and a dragon's tail. That sounds fucking awesome. I know you were working on the elf ears when I left. So, that's fucking great that you're able to get that done. Look at a lard. Not my favorite, but I want to see what's in here. Alright, okay. Alright, boss battle time, let's go. Hello? We're fighting you again, Basil, I'm sorry. Oop, yeah, ass. actually cannot remember what Book of Revelation does. I just use it for none reason. Alright, I will take it. Fire rate up? Doesn't sound like too bad of an idea. Let's go. I'm used to it. Alright, now in the necropolis. Let's get rid of this. You know, who knows? Might we actually... Oh. Oh. What is... Oh, okay. What is going on? Bloodshot Eye. Orbital that shoots a tear every 0.33 seconds. Damage per tear. Okay. Do we just wait for the boss door to show up? Yeah, okay. Oh, you fuck. We're doing pretty good on not getting bonked, but I suppose my luck had to run out sometime. Bar of soap. Tears up? Yeah, I'll take that. I hear deep whispers. Oh no, what's wrong with my face? Am I eating the bar of soap? Yeah, we can't have that. Hold on. What is causing me to look like that? Oh, fuck. Okay. Alright, let's see what's down here. Ooh. I do like free chest. Full health. We will definitely hold on to that. That is a much needed pill, especially if we plan on fucking surviving anything. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Forwarded a couple of screenies to you. Yeah, awesome. I'll take a look as soon as I can. You know as well as anybody, you know, it's hard to check it out when you're in the middle of a game. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. Thank you. Why are you trying to heck me over? Why you do this? What are you? Isaac's bombs leave damaging creep. Oh, Jesus. Alright, that's not too bad. You fuck. Tough love. 20% chance to shoot Isaac's teeth. Ooh. Well, okay. Aw, look at this poor kid. This poor kid has been just through so much shit. I know very little about this game. Yeah, I figured. Ooh, fucker. Bastard. Ugh. I got a pony. I got a pony! Thank you. Yeah, there's a reason why I leave, like, item descriptions and stuff on, because, like, I don't know what half the stuff in this game does. I play it very casually. Oh, oh goodness. Ooh, I'll take that. Probably gonna lose it, but, you know, I'll take it. I know very little as well. I played the board game a few times. I actually really like the board game. I think we have a first edition of it? I have to check. I played Four Souls, with my friend Slacker Kite. Oh, Basil, your mom, I'm sad to say. Or at least mom's leg. I gotta destroy you. I'm so sorry, Basil. Lying, you are a lump. Or an eyeball, depending. Aw, you little bastard. What the hell was that? Okay. Okay. Thank you for the head pat. Alright. We are in... Stop. Stop it. Jesus Christ. Okay, gravity kinda sucks. Not a fan. You could say that about that in real life too, so it's equally as applicable no matter what we're referring to. Okay. What we got going on here? Pony will stay. Let's get rid of that so we have to deal with a fucking broken nose. Or an eye, rather. This would be very helpful. Oh, that's right. Pony won't let me do that. Okay. If you're horny, let's do it. Ride it, my pony. Anybody remember that song, or am I just showing off how fucking old I am? Bombs are key. No, thank you. Take that heart. Ooh. Nope. Can't say I'm a fan of that. Basil, no! I know you've got the sickness, but it's no excuse to attack me. Don't recall it, completely blanking on it? Damn. Now I just really feel like shit. I think it was by... Who the fuck was it by? Genuine? I want to say? Don't quote me on that. Oh, well, I got bonked. Why can't I... What? The hell was that? Hold on a sec. I'm trying to see what I'm doing here. Okay, let's go this way, I suppose. We just be careful. We'll be okay, I think. Golden key. Alright. Oh, what? What the fuck? Chariot. That is tempting, but I want to keep my full health, so we're gonna do that. Wait, what the fuck is this? Did I ever fight this monster before? Oh, God! Jesus Christ. What is happening? I don't think I ever fought this boss before? Question mark? Oh, okay. Alright. Last one. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Of course I get immediately bonked. Why wouldn't I? Alright, so to be honest with you... Actually, what time is it? To electric review? 7:09. Okay. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on tonight. And the reason why is because I need to get up at 3 a.m. to catch an Uber. You got nothing! Because as it turns out, I'm gonna go to Planned Parenthood Day of Action at my state capital tomorrow. And they're gathering people from Buffalo, from Albany, and then we're all taking a, you know, or rather from Rochester to go to Albany. So we're all getting on the bus. I'm gonna go. So it's like I have to fucking get up at 3 to catch my Uber and to hopefully be there before the bus takes off. So it's going to be exciting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There was a training tonight that unfortunately I missed because I forgot. But they should be sending a recording out. And it's like, you know, New York State does currently cover, you know, like, abortion is still, you know, legal here, but it's something that, like, as an advocate, you know, you still want to pay attention to because, like, oops, I mean, kill oh, thanks for voting for kill player, you bastards. So yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little nervous traveling with people I don't know, you know, but they're from the organization. You know, I hopefully it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Crack Jacks. I will take that. And here is the boss. Game, please do not freeze. Spacesuit charge indicator. Huh. Okay. Ooh, I wonder what Stanley Parable is. Okay. Isaac. What the fuck? Oh, that'll oh, God. Why the fuck did I do that? What is my damage? Oh, Jesus! Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, I'm fucked. Please leave me alone. Oh, God. I can't. Why? Yeah. Oh my God, that was terrible. Okay. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. Alright. Made it back to the cathedral. Let's see if we fuck it up. There's no R key this time, so hopefully we don't. What? Okay. Why are we pooping? Why are we pooping? What is... Why are there so many poops? What is... What? This is so ridiculous. Why? Where are all these angelic poops coming from? Oh, okay. Yeah, fuck it. Nelia? We're fighting you. Sad to say. Hello. Grab those hearts. Okay, I remember we can hide up here from these? Or you were able to. That's right, you have to go opposite. Oh wow, did we win? Did we actually win? Did we win a run? Even with all the bananas and everything? Holy shit. relic. Ooh. Okay. Okay. That was very silly. Oh, it was an event named Diarrhea. Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. That would make sense. See, now I'm wondering if we can have some good luck. Azazel, Lazarus. How do you unlock Bethany? Hard. Oh, beating hard mode with Lazarus without losing a life. I don't want to do hard mode. I can barely do fucking normal mode, as we have seen. I mean, we can give it a try, right? What the hell? It's for the content. All right, let's do this. Already getting off to a good start. Oh, what? Thank you. Oh my god. Ooh. Stop! I'm gonna die in this first fucking screen. Holy shit. What? What? No! Why? Stop it! That was so unnecessary. Oh my god. Oh no, not again. I'm gonna die. Yep, there. Fucking hell. Yeah, nope. That's so stupid. Yeah, we're gonna go back in normal mode, I think. Holy shit. Okay. Fucking hell. Alright. Let me see. Alright, let's just do Isaac. What the hell? Hi, Chaotic Chemistry. Love that name, by the way. How are you doing tonight? Let's see what we got here. Ball of Tar. 10% chance to shoot slowing tears. Yeah, why not? It's not the best, but, you know, it is better than nothing. Doing good? Great, glad to hear it. Things are a little sort of up and down these days, but, you know, we're all trying to hang in there and kind of do the best we can, right? Poops out of here. Golden bomb. Interesting. Alright. Well, since we got the golden bomb, I know a secret won't spawn where there's stuff. I don't know if anybody was here though, so let's see. No. Okay. Oh, how did we skip that room? Was that an event? You. No, I said come here. I didn't say fart on me. Thank you very much. Alright, let's see. Here? No. Here. There we go. Well, that was fucking useless. Okay, thanks. How are you? Like I said, I'm doing okay. You know, things could be a lot better, but they could be a lot worse, you know what I mean? Oh, you came to the channel by the Wiccan tag. Well, welcome. Are you Wiccan as well, or just interested or curious? I am an old. But I have been Wiccan. God, I started learning about it when I was 14 or 15 thereabouts, and I've been practicing sort of on and off, you know, for over 20 years now. That should give you an indication of how old I am. Get out of here, you damn flies. I'll take some speed up. I will take some speed up. Here we go. You know, for the longest time, I couldn't play this game just because... Oh? Those eyes are terrifying. Okay, let's just reset that, please. But yeah, for the longest time, I couldn't play this game just because, like, the themes of child abuse and stuff, I was like, I don't know, man, this is a little too much for me. But, like, the more oh, if you have Twitch hearts, all of your familiars will shoot. Give one Twitch heart. Yeah, okay. We'll do some bleed purple, why not? Okay. What do we got here? A piggy bank. Taking damage spawns coins? Yeah. Sure, why not? Lord knows we're gonna get hit. Unidentified pill. How much will this fuck us? One makes you small. Well, that was a minor fucking in the grand scheme of things. I'm not Wiccan, but I'm interested in the religion, specifically regarding reincarnation and Naester. Well, cool. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them to the best of my ability. Do you realize that if you're learning about Wicca, you know, you ask, you know, 10 Wiccans, you're gonna get like 15 different answers just because of the nature of the religion, right? There's not a lot of stuff that's very set in stone. I don't know if you've done any reading, but I definitely recommend people like Scott Cunningham if you're interested in learning more specifically about Wicca. Do we have Spectral? We do not. Okay. Just a free room? Am I missing something? Yeah, I guess it's just a free room. Okay. You heard about this? Okay. Good, glad to know. But yeah, if you have any questions, like I said, I can answer them to the best of my ability, and if I don't know, I'll just tell you, like, hey, I don't know. Alright. Nelia. Oh, I got bonked! I got bonked because I'm bad at dodge. Okay, so that's gonna be 1, 2, 3. And that should do it. Nice. PJs! I will definitely take the PJs. Let's... Guppy. Guppy's paw. Not for 15 cents. We're not doing that. Control player from the chat with the commands up. Oh, no. No, no, no. Bad. Very bad idea. Like, what's your view as a Wiccan on free will? Do you think it's required to believe in free will? That's a good question. I've always kind of wondered myself, like, the difference between, say, fate or predetermination, right? As opposed to, you know, making your own destiny. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure. I never really... I think certain things you kind of have to struggle against, right? And I don't necessarily mean that like in a predestined way, but like, for example, we live in a system of capitalism, right? If I can get a little political here. Oh no, I never get political on this channel. So anything that is like quote unquote predetermined via that system is something that you have to work within, right? But that being said, there is still things you can do to try to have as much, you know, free will in that respect as you can. If we're talking just... Whoa, this is really hard to control. Oh, I don't have any keys. Fuck, I thought I had keys. If you're speaking generally, I don't know if it's necessarily a requirement, but I will say that if we're talking about... Why do we keep getting these enemies? Like, Wicca and witchcraft, and, you know, to be clear, they are two different things. But Wicca, I feel like part of it is about taking personal responsibility for your life and for your choices. So I think... Like, this is all me thinking out loud right now, so bear with me as I sort of gather my thoughts here. I do think that you would have to have a certain element of free will, or belief in free will to be Wiccan. I think so. I think now that I'm saying it out loud. Oh my god, please. Because for me, Wicca is like taking responsibility for your actions, taking responsibility for your practice, your learning, the way you treat yourself, the way you treat other people, so on and so forth, right? So yeah, I guess thinking about it... Oh my god, I suck. Thinking about it out loud, I would say free will is pretty important. I don't know if any of that made sense. It's like I said, this is the first time I'm really, you know, like solidly thinking about the question, so... I don't know. Forgive me if it's sort of a rambly, roundabout answer. It's truly the first time I've really had to think about it. You're gonna spawn a key there? Really, Dink? This game just, like, loves to troll you sometimes. Well... We gotta go for it. Oh, the bananas again! Fuck. Like, I will say the bananas are pretty good. Actually, yeah. Actually, hold on. Where... Yes, bananas, give me the key. Bananas, give me the key. Thank you. Oh wait, the shop is right there, isn't it? Yeah. What do we got here? I don't like any of these options. These all suck. I don't want to pay with blood, thank you. We're not doing that. Not today, sir. Best friend. That was kind of a waste of a key, but okay, sure, why not? No, we're not gonna get it. We're not gonna get it. I got jar of flies, we'll use that for the boss. It's fine. This is fine. Alright, yeah, come back. Come back here. Well, at least we're, like, net neutral on the keys now, I suppose. Unidentified pill... 48-hour energy. What the hell is this now? No! My jar of fly! It's fine! Well, no idea what this does. Let's find out. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Oh no! Oh, this sucks. How do you... Oh, this is where the run ends, because I am not good at the charging weapons. Fuck. Oh god. Yes, banana! Get him, bananas! Whoever voted for bananas, like, bless you. That was fucking perfect. Get rid of placenta, because that is fucking gross. Okay. Problem I face is how do we define free will? By free will, you mean acting in a way free from cause and effect. No, like, I'm a firm believer in every action is gonna have a reaction, right? So, like, if you're defining it that way, then no, I wouldn't believe in free will. But if we're talking about the latter definition, like, acting in accordance with what you want to do, then yeah, I think there's something to that. And again, you know, kind of grain of salt with it, right? you have to be able, there has to be some sort of self-determination, I think. And actually, I'd love to know what everybody else thinks about this too, if people are still hanging around. Like, I know, like, we have another educator here, so I'd love to hear, like, you know, Basil, like, what you think and what everybody else thinks too. Excuse me? What the fuck is going on? Thanks, I hate it. Are they only moving when the screen is... Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's awful. Stop bonking me! Good grief. Alright, what do we got here? I mean, car battery is good, but, like, not for what we have? I don't... Yeah, no. That sucks. Alright, I don't think we choose our emotion. I don't know. Like, who really knows, like, why we... Oh, I got dog tooth. Okay. Why we do what we do, right? Like, some people choose to be, or, you know, have desires to be artists. Some people want to have their own business. Some people want to be, you know, lawyers. You know, like, why does anybody choose to pursue the goals that they pursue, right? Like, you know, we can definitely make an argument, like, is that something innate? Is that something that is predetermined? Is that something that's nature versus nurture, depending on our environment and our, you know, the products of this and that, blah, blah, blah. You know, so it's a solid question. It's a very solid question, and I don't think I'm gonna have, like, an answer, but it's definitely something that's fun to discuss, that's for sure. Yeah, no wonder I'm rich. I keep getting my fucking ass kicked over here. Alright, let's see. Oh, we're gonna need some... We're gonna need some life. See if it... Oh, golden heart. Thank you very much. Alright. Let's see if we can find an upgrade. Oh, fuck you. Free will is something that cannot be easily defined. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Fucker. Hi, I'm Joan, and I suck at this game. I get bongs pretty easily. Oh, good. Fuck you. I can't even hit things when they're fucking stopped. What is my problem? Nope. No. Oh, thank God placenta kicked in. Thank God. We would have been fucked. Good grief.
X-Lax.
Well, that was not useful, but okay, sure. Let's go to the moon. Oh boy, that's what we needed. We needed more money. It's good stuff. This is quite possibly the beginning of the end, my friends. See, at least this we can consistently hit without it being closed, but this guy's gonna be a prick. Oh, thank God, a heart. Okay. We say that every action they do is determined by prior causes. And honestly, that's a great question. Like, I don't know if we're ever able to really separate free will from things like nature versus nurture, you know what I mean? Because, like, you know, was I always predetermined to be a teacher? or like an educator or an artist? I mean, quite possibly. You know, I've drawn, you know, since I was a very young kid. I've always liked teaching people things, but, you know, how much of that is, you know, a predilection versus, you know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. How much of that is based on how I was raised? You know, did my childhood upbringing have anything to do with it? Maybe I wanted people to have a better life than I did. You know what I mean? Like, it's... I got distracted by the conversation. Oh, well. Give me 1 second, hang on. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. It's a philosophical position called compatibilism, which defends that determinism is compatible with free will. I mean, it's quite possible. And Basil brings up a good point too, in that, like, physically, you're not the same person you are, you know, when you started, right? Because aside from growing, you know, you shed your skin cells, and your body physically changes, the neurons and patterns in your brain change. So it's you know, how deep do we want the rabbit hole to go here? You know what I mean? I think it's a really interesting question, and it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if we'll ever find like a definitive answer, but it's certainly, you know, fun to talk about and to, you know, discuss, right? Alright, what we got going on here? Get off my dick. Stop it. I don't know why I'm going in the shop. We have no money. Duplicates all item pedestals and pick up in the room. That's pretty cool, but we can't afford it. Oh god, we're back with the spiders. Son of a bitch! No, come on! They're all fucking enemy spiders. Give me a break. Why you do this?
Rune shard.
Chat, why you do this to me? Oh, we don't have a key. What the hell was the point of that? That was quite literally pointless. Alright, well, we need to find the upgrade room, so let's go do that. Oh, yeah, no problem. It's definitely one of those things where it's like, you know, it's fun to kind of, you know, mull about and think about out loud, you know what I mean? It's like epics, right? Like, we could, you know, having a discussion on epics, it's something that, like, that could go all over the place. What? 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 Okay, why though? Okay, why though? Oh god! What? Why? I'm already down to half health because I didn't know there was a fucking boss battle that was happening in here. Great. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. We're fucked. We're dead. Welp. I teach social studies at high school. Yeah, right? Like, and to be fair, you will find the occasional student that is interested in having these discussions. Like, you'd be surprised. But I'm coming at this from the perspective more of somebody who teaches in higher education than you know, middle school or high school rather. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt, right? But even then, sometimes it can be really fucking hard engaging students. Like, one thing I don't understand is that you'll have students who go to college, and I understand the reasons why to some extent, But you'll have students who go to college and then they just won't fucking engage. They won't try to answer questions. They won't try to... God, I suck. They won't, you know... You have to, like... It's like pulling teeth to get them involved, right? And it's like, you know, if that's the case, why are you here? You know, and if you don't want to be here, why are you wasting your time? You know, like, you're literally... Ooh, Holy Grail, thank you. Like, you're wasting your time, potentially your money, your energy. It's like, you know, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. Hey, Eldrick, how you doing? I like how we're not... Can we just take a moment to appreciate the silly-ass dance, please? Alright, let's get approach 20. So silly. How you doing today, Mr. Mecha? Tonight we are playing some Isaac, but with a Twitch twist. Work decided to have oh, no shit. Oh my god, what a pain in the dick. Speaking of pain in the dick. Nope. Nope. That was worthless. Well, alright, I guess we'll just go to the boss. What the fuck, right? Oh, hey, we could do this now. What do we got here? The Lovers spawns 2 red hearts. I'll fucking take it. Grab me that key. Oh god, everybody's here. I said no pooping! I said no pooping! Doomsday, please! Thanks! What do you gotta do to stop pooping around here? Ugh! Ugh! Please. Please. Paul just coming in here and pooping all over the place. Thank you. Yeah, it's a mod. But, and it does, like every so often you'll see my screen, you see the game kind of freeze up because it's connecting to an external service. But, it seems to be working pretty well, all things considered. It's called Isaac on Twitch. So I definitely recommend it. Like, I have been both blessed and cursed by chat, so, you know, play as you will. Alright, do I have a bomb? I do. Very nice. Very sexy. See, that's another good question, Chaotic. So, that one's a little bit of, like, UPG, right? There are some people who think that, like, it's a temporary rest stop before you move on to either reincarnation, you know, or to, you know, enlightenment, or, you know, insert your belief here. And some people think that it's, you know, it's just a place, you know, that you go after you die. It's a really, really good question. But that with the Summerland, I think that just boils down to, like I said, to UPG. Me personally, I would hope that it's a place where I can rest after life, because life be hard. But I do appreciate that there's, like, a potential option of, you know, choosing to be reborn if I wanted to, right? I kind of hope... I spoke about this somewhere. But I was thinking about, like, if you've ever seen the show The Good Place, has anybody seen the show? Where, like... I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but long story short, things work out a particular way in the afterlife, and I would hope that, like, if I, you know, when I die, I say if I die, when I die, I hope it's something like that. I fucking love The Good Place so much. Look at this. Eldrick, you just get here and you're busting my balls. Dropping your spit and your spiders all over the place. What do we got here? Oh god, not the SCP thing again. Son of a bitch. I think most people refusing to be born nowadays due to the birth rate decline. Well, there's that too. The world do be a little difficult to deal with these days. What are we dealing with here? I have no idea what that is. Okay. No shit, really? Like, obviously you don't have to say the exact, like, city, of course, but like Western New York or like Central, like Albany, or what are you thinking? Teleports Isaac to the secret room. Let's go to the secret room. That was kind of worthless. Syracuse, no shit. Okay, that's pretty cool. When was the last time I was in Syracuse? Damn, that's not too far from Buffalo. So like maybe if you do come back to New York, maybe we could meet up one day. Grab this. Oh, okay. Ellicottville. Oh, yes. I know. I have an idea where Ellicottville is. Nice. Okay, cool. But yeah, that could be a lot of fun. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Aw, you bitch. Can you not hit me, though? That would be pretty fucking cool if you could not hit me. Thank you very much. Just gotta save because no equity needs a lot of hardcore save. Yeah, isn't that the fucking truth? Oh my god. You know what really sucks though too is like, remember when starter homes? Like, you remember when starter homes would be like, you know, 100 grand, 150, like something like, you know, still expense, but like, you know, something you know that was kind of decent for like, you know, like you know, a 2 or 3 bedroom house or whatever. Well, here in Buffalo, depending on where you go, the fucking cheapest that I've seen so far for like an actual decent house has been whatchamacallit, like in the 350s. That sucks. So I've pretty much just sort of given up for now on owning a home. I don't know what the prices are in Syracuse. Hopefully, you know, they're a little better, but you fucker. Get away from me. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, question mark. Oh, growth hormones. Cool. Yeah. If that emote doesn't just fucking sum it up miles better than Oh, yeah. To my understanding, Seattle has been, how do I put this delicately? Pretty piss. Pretty piss. Which is like, I've never been to Seattle. It's one of those places where I'd love to visit. But, like, one of the things I hear about it all the time is, like, not just how bad the housing is, but, like, how bad the homelessness, you know, situation is. And it breaks my fucking heart. I'm gonna hold on to the lover's card for a bit there. Ugh, can you not, though? Can you not, though? Oh, it's so fucking gross. Homeless is rough in here. That sucks. That really sucks. Oh, hey, it's Basil and Elchick. Nice. Or, right? We don't spit out disgusting goo. We are not taking that. You can fuck right off into the sea. The cost of living. Like, yeah, like, Buffalo still has a relatively cheap cost of living, but like if we're looking at, for example, just looking at apartment rentals, like in order for you to get like a decent place in a, you know, decent area, you're looking at like at least 1,100 like for a studio, if not more, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of ridiculous, these prices up here. Lodestone, Chansu magnetizing tears, ghost pepper. Let's do ghost pepper. And actually, let's pop this now so we can get some hearts. And then, of course, we can, you know, the memes about, you know, the price of eggs and blah, 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 but etc., right? Stop spitting your fucking goop on me. Yep. Oh no, not this. Oh no, not this. Oh, stop! It's so awful. Jesus Christ. Alright, who voted for that? Who brought that into this world? We're renting a 3-bed, 1-bath for way too much. I believe it. I mean, you know, I have opinions about landlords, but like me and Squid are like, it's hard saying this, partially because like I'm kind of embarrassed, and partially because we're in a really weird situation where we don't make a lot of money. Like right now, like I've been out of steady work before, like since 2023. But because we don't make, you know, enough money, we're able to stay in a low-income housing that we can afford. So it's like, oh, chaotic. There you go. It's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. I guess, if that makes sense. It's very frustrating. Little bastards. Get away from me. Oh, shit, Warhawk, what's up? Been a hot minute. How you doing? Dinner? Nope. Alright, let's change our wardrobe real quick. That's looking good. We've got some cash. Okay. What? Oh, okay. What? Yeah, alright. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Fucker. Please, please just let me shoot. Get these balls out of my face! God. Okay. Fuck me. Stop it! Stop it! Stop! Oh my god. What is my favorite spiced drink? I'll be honest, I don't like drink. So it's gonna be something like probably non-alcoholic. I'm thinking, can I give you a real basic bitch answer? Like a real basic bitch answer? It's gonna be pumpkin spice, dog. Like, it's... I'm sorry. Like, I am showing my whiteness here, but that's really what it boils down to. I fucking love pumpkin spice. Do we check out... Yeah, let's check out the shop. More options. Let's go ahead and grab that. That's pretty fucking good. Yeah, the skeletons suck. They are the worst. Like, having a room full of them is not what I call a fucking good time. Oh my god, please. Yoink. I lost more. Thanks. Okay, wait. I got I gotta hydrate and I gotta posture check. Let me stretch real quick. I know it's not technically a stretch redeem, but the posture check helps me sort of get things in line here. Okay. Thanks, Basil. Alright. Oh, you little tricky bastard. Look at this. Well, glad we spent the money on more options just to immediately lose it. Oh, that was beautiful. Let's see if we have any secret rooms. Nope, nope, and nope. Nope, okay. Alas. Why am I not paying attention to where the hell I'm shooting? Stop it! What about here? Nope. Ooh woo! I love when people use my emotes. It makes me very happy. I feel like I missed something. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! That legitimately scared the shit out of me. I was looking at chat. Oh my god, that scared the hell out of me. Jesus Christ. Oh god. Please make it. Oh, that's acting up my, some nausea there. Speed up? Yeah, speed up.
Speed up.
God, please. Please. Oh, this earthquake sucks. Ooh. Hello? Hello? Just skip the boss? God, the earthquake, please. Can we make this earthquake stop, please? It's just too much. Ugh. Oh, Jesus. Oh no, we lost 2020! Okay. I really do not like this earthquake effect. It's like legitimately making me feel a little sick. Please don't do it again. Oh, it's doing it again. Ooh. Maybe it stopped? Maybe it stopped? Watch battery. That's not really worth it, and I wasted a key. No, it's not, you know, nobody knew. I guess just in the future, if we could not do the earthquake option, because that legit was making me kind of like motion sicknessy there. Oh, good! Super wrap, my favorite, except not. Oh, fuck off! Can I actually hit you, please? Nope. Yeah, get blown up by your own bomb, you idiot. Fuck you! Oh, fuck off. Unfortunately, you have to choose something to remove or it'll pick for you. Like, if there's not a consensus or a vote, it'll just pick randomly. So, unfortunately, something has to get removed as we've learned. Yeah, very sad. What is this? Try baby will give us another part it could joined. Oh, well, okay. I guess we go try baby. We lost our other one, so let's go get this guy. fucker. Maybe if I got rid of the fire, I wouldn't be worrying about this. Why can I not pay attention? I'm gonna chalk this up to ADHD. Stop it! Will these give us hearts? That would be great if it did. Nope.
The mothers.
Alright, pop that. What the hell, right? Really? Wait, what? Oh no, what the fuck is this? Oh, what the fuck is this? Okay. I just saw the New York accent. Give me a second. That is... Ugh. Hold on, guys. Like, that... Oh, God. Oh, please. Oh, it's just gonna keep going. Oh, it's just gonna keep going. Oh, this is... Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, thank God. Okay. Okay! That happened. Holy shit, that was terrible. That was bad. That was hella bad. Whew. God. Okay. Well, what have we learned? Joan gets motion sick. Warhawk, sorry you had to wait for the New York accent, sweetheart. I missed it on account of my getting absolutely bodied by this game physically. We'll do a little bit of the New York accent for you. Thank you for your patience. Look at this shit. Look at this horse shit. Oh my God. Can you fuck what? This fucking guy over here thinks he can just come around and just shoot whatever he wants. Yeah, that was, I'm sorry, Eldrick. You are now the mom's leg. It must be done. Oh my God, please. I don't know what keeps triggering, but I'll take it. Stop it! What the fuck keeps hitting me? What keeps hitting me? What? Alright. Well, we failed. No big surprise. Here, let me show you the mod that we got here. Color stat HUDs. Okay, so it's called Isaac on Twitch Reloaded. I do recommend it. I think it's a lot of fun. As you can see. Let me see here. Hold on. I don't even know why I have that on. We haven't done anywhere fucking near Ascent yet. What we got here? Okay. Whew, I think I need to step away for a minute. Alright, it's 8 o'clock right now. I'm having a lot of fun. This was great. I do have to call it early, and like I said earlier, the reason why I have to call it early is because I have to get up at like 3:30 in the morning to go catch an Uber, so I'm not gonna get a ton of sleep tonight. I'm off to Albany to do some Planned Parenthood stuff. Do some advocating. So I think we're gonna call it here. So let's head on over to the end screen, shall we? Oh, good grief. All right, that was fun. It was ridiculous, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I think we're definitely gonna do this again in the future for sure. For Thursday's stream, let me think. I think we're gonna do. I got a review key for Essays on Empathy from Devolver Digital, so I think we'll check that out for a little bit. It's a bunch of short games in one, so we might do a little bit of that and then maybe come back to this because I am having fun with this. This was as for all of my complaining. I did really enjoy going through this and having you all like sort of interact and choose the nonsense for me. So thank you, and thank you for being here. And that said, I'm gonna fuck off into the ether. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Please stay safe. Please feel well. You're quite welcome, Basil. Thank you all for being here. It's always so much better when there's people here I can riff off of and talk to. So thank you for being here, and thank you for choosing to spend your time with me. It is very appreciated. Remember, as always, to do no harm, take no shit, and please take care of yourselves, okay? Alright, bearing any flare-ups or mental health stuff, I will see you all again on Thursday. Have a lovely evening. Good night.